What's up people with YouTube, Spory here and back with another tutorial. Now my latest tutorial was about nesting and I asked you in this video about what you want me to show you or teach you with tutorials. And Dalton here asked me about scale pumping, so guess what? We're taking a look at scale pumping today in Premiere Pro and After Effects. Now I like scale pumping, but I don't use it very often because I don't know really. I like it, but it's quite a lot of work to do it really good. I have a few examples here where I've kinda used it. Right over here now I'm gonna like zoom, and that's pretty basic scale pump. And also over here I'm gonna do a quick zoom in right there, then over here with the hand, there you go. There's another like pump. And that's basically scale pumping. I really had to try hard to find anywhere where I use it where it looks pretty good. I have two other AMVs right here where I'll show you where scale pumping is really done awesomely. So I'm just gonna show you this. And then there's a much easier version for this 1000 memories AMV. It just like quick zooms out on every like edit in the video. But as you can see, it's pretty effective. It keeps the eye interested and looking at it. So yeah, I'm gonna be teaching you about scale pumping today. Now, I know a lot of different types of scale pumping or different methods to use it. It can be done in Premiere Pro. I'm also will be going over how you do it in After Effects. I, however, would recommend you doing it in After Effects because of one simple reason, and I will get to that later. But let's just look at this. I prepared like a small edit. I made it pretty quick. I did some pumping in different styles, so I'm just gonna show you this now. Yeah, pretty basic. Just like my regular edits with just some scale pumping involved. So in this first clip right here, I'm just gonna play it again. Now this is usually what I use. It's like when you transition from one scene to another to like emphasize the next like cut. So like for instance right here, I zoom in towards Saber to the next cut where it's specifically just Saber. So if you look up here on the effects menu, you can see I'm just scrolling by, and then a quick edit to like 218 scale, and then on this clip I go from 100 to a bit of zoomed in, so like the zoom continues through the edit, and it looks pretty okay. It's not the best pump I've ever made, but it's look okay. So that's one like way to do it. Just keyframe your scale or position towards the like object. I have I can show you over here on this AMV as well. I do it here as well. You can see where it zooms in on his face. It becomes like closer, and I just made it towards his face, so you like your eyes are directed towards it. And it's the same with this one. So yeah, that's a pretty basic one. You just keyframe it. I'm gonna go over later with, I'm gonna do everyone later on in the, not the AMV tutorial. The other one is you just, well, I have another one right here towards the end to this clip. But what I did over here was nest two clips, like I showed you in the previous tutorial. And this is just like regular clips. It's edited right here. But if I go back to this, I have edited the nested sequence right here. So right when the edit happens in the nested sequence, I pump it, and it becomes like a a pump transition basically. This is the most efficient way to use it in Premiere Pro, I'd say for sure, because when you're doing it over two different clips like this, it can become really messy. I usually just do it when I zoom in to focus on a specific person or whatever, to redirect your view. And then the last, like, known or the most basic ways to pump is to go into After Effects, and what you do is just like you pick the clips you want to have, right click, replace with After Effects composition, After Effects will open, and you will get this basically. And what I've done in here is I've done two pumps over here. I can play it for you as well. It's basic. It's right when the edit happens. You can see it the best with the rock right there. And how come it looks so much better? I can even play it in here. Well, it's one thing and one thing only. If you do the edit in After Effects, you can do this and this. You will add motion blur. And what the scale pumping does, you can see it like makes it more blurry and stuff. And that basically it's what sells the pump usually. So if you can, use it in After Effects because these pumps look way better. And also what you can do with After Effects is really simple. If you keyframe something, like for example, I'm just going to do it like this when you keyframe. If you have one keyframe like this, like the diamond thingy shape, you just press F9 or right click and you do easy ease on it. And it's just like a kind of, it eases it in basically. It just like makes it a slower start and a slower end, and then like, yeah, it looks way better. You can do it in Premiere Pro as well. You can see I have some eases over here, ease in and ease out. It's not that great. After Effects does it way better. So again, if you can use After Effects for pumping. Now, the different kind of methods, they are basically the same. You pick a clip. I'm gonna do right over here. I'm gonna go from, yeah sure, I'm gonna go from this to this. What you just do is like you go towards the end, bring down the motion thing, you press the keyframe for you want to have the scale to start off. I'm just gonna skip one frame like this. Now it's on 100, and then I jump towards the edit like this with my key, left and right key. And I'm gonna bring up the scale for like, yeah, 160, sure. And if I play this now, you can see there was a quick zoom towards the end. And then I will do like this on the next clip. You can either go with, I wanna go from 100 to like 114, sure. So you continue to zoom in, or you can do like I did earlier. You can go from like 120 to back down to 100. So you make like a zoom in, zoom out. It doesn't look that much for the eye, but it's something. What I usually do as well, like I did in the beginning over here as well, is I start out with a small zoom, and then I pump it in, and then I continue like the zoom. You can see the up here from 112 to like 120. Yeah. So I like kind of like just continue to zoom in, so it just becomes one long smooth motion. Same over here as well. When I pump this, I did it in here in this sequence. I pump it down from 150 down to like 109, and then to like 102. So that's what you can do. But yep, basically it's just zoom in to zoom in, or zoom in to zoom out. It's like that. And if you're gonna do it like with a nested, I showed you earlier, you nest, where is it? Up there. You nest it, and then you do, I'm just gonna go into the nested sequence and remove what I had. Uh, delete that and delete that. I'm just gonna do it like this instead. Works better. So now there's no pump anymore again. Yeah. So what I do, I just do the pump here in the nested sequence. Oops. So I'm just gonna do the scale. I usually do the scale center point on the first clip. I don't know. It just looks better that way, I think. 3 frames. Oops. I'm just gonna do this bigger first, and then, yep, that's 102. And then 3 frames like this or something to 100. Yeah, basically that's a pump right there. What you can do then is do this auto brazier, and that works a little bit. That works a little bit better, but not much. What I also have in Premiere Pro is this one over here. I have a plugin, not plugin, it's different kinds of effects that they call Universe. I talked about it in one of my previous tutorials on how to install plugins. I've used it quite a lot. I've used it for the Attack on Titan's AMV now recently. But here is like a transition folder with fade in and fade out. I use this quite a lot to make my pumps nowadays. It's not the same as a pump, but it looks pretty similar. It fades out or fades in the next clip like this. You can see it zooms him in, but the other clip stays the same basically. I can fade in. And it basically, yeah, it pumps the next clip, one of the clip at least, and it looks pretty good. So if you can get hands on the Universe pack, get it, because these are really good. But now, if you go into After Effects, I'm going to show you how to make the best ones in After Effects. So like I did earlier, I'm going to just make this again, since you've seen it. Now really, I'm going to make this over here, since these two are it's pretty good. I'm going to make these two. So I'm going to cut this up. Select the 2 clips, right click, replace with After Effects composition. So what we have here is now we have 2 clips, 2 different layers. What you can do is, like I did earlier here in Premiere Pro, you scale one clip and then you scale the other clip. Works pretty good. However, what I would suggest you do, select the 2 clips, or if you just made it a complete edit, like if I were to use like this clip, since it's pretty long. If I were to use like this to pump it somewhere, I mean, it's just replace and you have the entirety, and then you just press S to get up the scale thing. You keyframe it, you drag it up, and you use page up and page down in After Effects to jump frames. I'm just gonna go 100, enter, 2 frames that way. Then again, you press F9. I'm going to use it on all 3. And you have a pretty quick pump. I'm just going to move it a couple of frames. Yeah, just like that. But if you were to have 2 clips like this, if you're going to pump between 2 different clips from Premiere Pro, I'd suggest you do like this. You select the 2 and you pre-compose. Just move all attributes and just keep it that name, whatever. And you get 1 layer. Pretty good. And if you were to want the 2 layers again, you just double click it and you have to do just the same thing again. This is basically nesting in After Effects. So now I need to find, okay, if you pre-compose as well, sometimes it bugs out like this. You need to go into pre-comp and just drag it out. So I can, yeah. So here's the transition between the 2 clips. I'm just gonna go in here, S, scale it up. Don't forget to keyframe, page up. I'm just gonna go 3 frames this time, since 2 was a bit too little. Oops, not 1000. There we go. Select all of them, F9, and then we're gonna take a look. Looks pretty good. Now, here comes how to do a good pump versus a great pump. You press this over here to go into the graph editor. You select the clip, Why is it not showing up? There we go. Now you have this. Here's the graph for the pump. So basically it goes in and it goes out. Now what we can do is edit this. So for example, I can do like this, and I can do it like this, or I can do it like this, and it changes like the zoom in effect of it. So it basically becomes much smoother, and the pump is the most zoomed in part is really small. It becomes basically just a transition for itself. And then on top of that, when you're done in the graph editor, so I would suggest you have something like this, like a very small peak with kind of smooth ends and ins. So go back from the editor, and then when you do, you edit this to enable motion blur, and then you put motion blur in the clip, and then we'll look again. I'm just going to render it out. That looks way better than you do in Premiere Pro. Let's go back to Premiere Pro and we'll have a look. It looks a lot better than this. So yeah, if you can use After Effects, and that's basically how you do it. What you can do is edit your entire video here in Premiere Pro, and then just render it out, put it into After Effects, and then pump every edit you do like this if you want to. Or you can just go into like replace After Effects composition whenever you want to do just like a couple of pumps here and there. So yeah, that's basically it. You just have to like practice how you will like time it and stuff like this. What some usually do as well, I can show you this as well in this tutorial, is if you go into your effects, it's gonna load, and you type in wiggle. And there's a animate presets. There's a different kinds of things. I'm usually just gonna do position on it. You can do this with the Twitch plugin as well, the Video Copilot Twitch plugin. What it does is it wiggles it, so like it moves the clip around. So I'm just gonna go like this first, so we have a bit of lee room, 105 to 105. And then when you have wiggle effect like this on it, you can just change it up here, amount of pixels you want it to wiggle, how often. So just go like 2 in a second. Maybe that's a lot, but just have a look. I'm gonna render it and then have a look. Yeah, and you can see there's like movement on the clip. I'm just gonna do with the scale as well. And it's gonna do that much, like, oh, okay, like 5% maybe. I don't know if they would, yeah, it will change up a bit. You should have like a movement all the time with the, okay, wiggle scale did not work that good. You should probably just use Twitch plugin for that. I'm gonna show you that as well. You can have like this, and we're gonna enable scale and slide and operation controls, and we're gonna take it down drastically. Slide amount. We're gonna have a look at this. Okay, we're gonna do a lot less and a lot less of this as well. Yeah, basically. You can even do, I think you can do less, but a bit faster, and it looks a lot better. Yeah, just like that. And you have a pretty good pump. So yeah, that has been the AMV tutorial for pumping. It's pretty simple. You just have to practice it and make great pumps before you can do like the greatest of greatest pumps. Again, if you have any suggestions for future tutorials, please leave them down below in the the comment section. Duh. And if you decide to make some pumps in your AMVs or other AMVs you want to show me, link those as well below. Let me check them out, give you feedback. And until next time, guys, see ya!